Hey guys, it's Keitha from Home Made Luxe. If you're new to Home Made Luxe, we are a craft subscription box, and this is your September box. We are doing 2 macrame projects. So I'm so excited. We're gonna do a succulent plant holder, and then we're gonna do a cute macrame owl. So let's get started. Okay, so before we even macrame, let's just do our planter. We're going to paint the bottom white and the top lid gold, and then we're going to cut a slit on the top for our succulent and just stick it in there. We might need to bend the stem and then to make it fit. Okay, so the first step is we're going to cut 160 inches of cord, and we're going to cut 14 of those. So let's get started. So if you have a small ruler, you can just go here and kind of put some washi tape on both sides here so you can measure out 10 inches on your ruler. Okay, so we are just going to use that 10 inches to measure out that 16 times so that we get 160 inches. Okay, so once you have cut the first one, you can just use that first one as the template of how to cut the rest of them. So we've got this here, and we'll just cut it. And then keep going until you've cut all 14 of these. Okay, so once you've cut all 14 of yours, you're going to take each one individually and just put it in half. So just basically just put the ends together, and then put the ends together, and then here's your middle. So you're just going to kind of lay these all out here. So next we're going to cut 2 30-inch lengths of rope, and you're going to set one of these aside, and then we're going to use the other one. Okay, now we're going to just tie a knot or a double knot onto the ends of this rod, just like this. And this is just so we can hang this, and just gonna tie this knot right here. Get it as tight as we can, and then as close to the end as we can, and then do it on this side as well. So just do your little knot, push it through, tie it, and then tie it again. You can clip that if these little ends are annoying. Okay, now we can hang it like that. Okay, so we've got these 2 knots, and we're gonna just hang it from a nail so we can start doing our project. Make sure it's level. So the first thing we're gonna do is a lark's head knot. We've got our half right here. We've got it in half, and we are just gonna put this up like this, and then we're gonna bring this through this loop, and that's it. Our first little knot. And we're going to just put this over as much as we can, because we're going to put all 14 of these on here. Okay, we're going to just keep going, pull this through. Okay, and just keep it over. Don't worry if it isn't level, we can level it out once we're done. So just make sure you have your center. Push it up and through, and we're just going to go all the way over with this. Okay, so we made these like this, so we're just going to turn this around. I just tried to do it that way so you guys could see it easier, but we're going to just make sure these are nice and tight, and we're going to have it like this, and just kind of space them out so that they're as even as possible. Okay, now we're going to start with a square knot. So a square knot, you're going to be taking 4 the length 4 of these. And so we have outer, inner, inner. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you do is you make a 4, so the shape of a 4 with the first one, and you go over, over, under. So over, over, then under this one. Then you're gonna go take this one and bring it through the 4 that you had made, and you just tie it up. Then to complete the square knot, you're gonna do it on the other side. So you're gonna make your 4, your backwards 4, and then you're gonna go over these 2 and under this one, and then bring this one through. Good. And we're going to do that all the way across. So let's do this again. Make sure that these are in order. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to go number 4 over these 2, over, over, under, and then under and through. Okay, and then your backwards 4, over, over, under, and through. And we're going to do this all the way across. Okay, so now we've done our first row, and now we're going to start alternating knots, which means that we're going to leave out the first 2 and the last 2. So we're going to take these 2 out, and we're going to start with chords 3, 4, 5, and 6, so that these 2 are in the middle. That way we can have alternating. So we're going to do the same process. You're going to do your 4 over, over, under, and through. And we're going to leave about 1 inch of space. Let's keep this guy over here. 1 inch of space between these 2. And then we're going to go backwards again, over, over, under, and through, and tie our knot here. Sorry guys. Okay, and then you're just going to keep going. Again, you want it to be in a row, so you want it to just be 1 inch, and you're going to go with the 4, over, over, under, and through. And just make sure you get it to where you want it to be, and then backwards 4. Okay, if it doesn't look like where you want it to be, you can just kind of put it up or put this down so you can get it into a row, and just keep going. Remember, you're going to lose these 2 at the end as well. So let's do one more row. So we're on our last row, our last one of this first row actually. We're just doing this. So remember, these last 2, we're not going to do them. So now we have completed our first row, and we are going to start on the second row. And we're going to put these 2 back into rotation. So we're going to be back to doing these 2. These 4 on the end. So there's going to be that long space. We're going to do another about 1 inch down from that second row. And we're going to do this. So you got your inch, you have this going down, and make sure it's nice and tight. And then do the other side. Okay, and then you're just going to go across doing your 4s. Okay, so we have our 3 rows so far, and we're still doing alternating rows. We're going to do 7 of these. So again, we're going to just take off. I know in the instructions it has a lot of numbers, so if you want to like count these out to understand what I'm saying. But the easiest way is just means to take the first 2 off and take the last 2 off. So we're going to take those 2 off, We're going to do our 4 over, under, and through. And again, we're doing our inch between so it looks nice and consistent. And again. So that's all our alternating knots means. It means that you're going to be skipping the first 2 and the last 2, so that it's kind of, you know, in between. This one is in between these 2. And then this one is going to be in between these 2. Alright guys, so we finished that row, and we're going to bring back our 2, and we're going to start again. It's so simple. Okay, so now we're going to once again take these off, the first 2 and the last 2. And we're gonna keep doing our alternating knots, 1 inch down at a time. Okay, and for our final row, we're gonna bring back the last 2, and we're gonna do our square knots once again. So now we have finished our rows. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're gonna do 2 square knots in the middle. So we're gonna do chords 11 to 18. So you can count them out: 4, 8, 9, 10. So you're gonna do 11 and then these ones. So we're gonna start here, and we're just gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna make 2 square knots. Okay, so now we've finished all of our rows. We finished these 2 in the middle. We're gonna place our planter here, and then just bring these 2 that are next to these 2 that are next to the square knots. We're going to bring these around, and we're just going to use the planter as a kind of a placeholder, and we're going to do our square knots right here. We're just going to do a square knot that we're used to doing, and let's do it with these guys here in the middle. Side. You do it as tight as you think you'll need to. Right here. Okay, let's check that. Okay, looks pretty good. So now I'm going to tighten it. Yep. So bring this down. You can tighten it like that. Okay. Okay, that looks good to me. Now we're going to do a wrapping knot with this middle. So we're just going to get these out the way to make it easier to see what we're doing here. Take these out of the way, and we're going to focus on the middle here. We're going to do a wrapping knot by holding this, and we're going to make a little loop. So just a loop like this, and we're just going to do it right here where we want this to be. And we're going to just take this and just wrap it around as many times as we want to, and just keep going down so you can have a nice thick little row of these coming down. And you can double up if you want to, so that it's nice and thick. I like it to be pretty thick, so. Okay, so once you get to the end, then you're going to put this through the loop, put your end through the loop, and then you're going to pull on this part, the top part. You're going to pull this up to bring that up and through your loop. Okay, and once it's in there, then you can kind of maneuver it how you want to, and then you can just clip the ends. clip right here as close as possible, and then clip down here as close as possible. And that's your wrapping knot. You can clip the bottom here however long you want these to be, and bring these back down. Sure, good. Bring these back down, and you can continue alternating knots down as far as you would like. You're just gonna do these as far down as just your personal preference, whatever you like to see. You're just gonna keep doing your knots. Okay, so I did 2 more rows on the sides, on both sides. So it kind of met in line with here. And then the last part is to just add your planner that you made at the beginning of this. So you're just gonna add this in. You're gonna bring this around if you want to. Just try to get it as level as you can. Right here. And that's it. You can cut this as short or as long as you want it. I like it to just hang. You can tie knots on the ends if you want to. It's all your personal preference. But I like it just like this. Okay guys, now it is time to enjoy your beautiful planter. Can you believe you made that? I'm so glad to be crafting with you tonight. If you guys are not subscribed, go to www.homemadeluxe.com and get your craft kit so you can make this. And go ahead and click on the owl as well, because we also have a macrame owl in this kit. So I hope you'll do that one next. I will see you guys soon. See you next month for another Homemade Luxe craft kit.